like to use to try to avoid getting setting off a flag, a red flag. And then we see here another technique for finding malicious behaviors known as anomaly detection. Things out of normal. Okay, one of the best things that you can do in taking care of a network is know your baselines for your network. Baselines like traffic, normal traffic activity, bandwidth activity. There's a few different metrics you can take a look at for anomalies, but you know that your heaviest traffic is maybe from 9:30 to 11:30, we'll say, okay, every day. And then late in the afternoon it slows way down, but all of a sudden if you saw a lot of activity in the late afternoon, you'd say, hey, what's up? What's going on? An anomaly. All right, so we know what an anomaly is. So instead of looking for specific, like you see here, the code red worm, the system can look for traffic which doesn't look like most traffic. We look at a simplified version of anomaly detection, and there's a link that I have here if you want to go look up. It's a nice little page on Wikipedia. Some great information there that you can take a look at and help explain that to you and visualize it. But sometimes that's what we're looking for. As you guys know, I do a lot of work in my PhD, and that's what it's all about. It's about trying to find either information from logs or traffic, like the full PCAPs or this net flow traffic. So you pick things out of it, and then you have normal traffic and you have, we'll say, attack traffic. And as they get labeled, you pick some features out of there, and there's all sorts of features you can pick. And if you see some kind of pattern there, some kind of anomaly, you got a little heads up that some of the couple of things you can look for if it gets out. Now this is what I'm going to have you guys do is nice, straightforward, simple, and you'll be able to see, yes, that is I see what the anomaly is here, and it was a quick way to find that. So Excel attaches an Excel spreadsheet right here. For those online, right here. Buried inside this log is a possible attacker. I'm going to open it up for you in just a second. Whose traffic is very different than all the rest. Looking at a raw log, it's very difficult to see which IP address is the possible attacker. However, if you look at the data using a scatter plot, it becomes very clear which connection is the outlier, because the traffic pattern is much different than all the others. So you're going to do that. You're going to take that data in Excel, you're going to graph it, and you'll be able to see from that, and then you're going to put this thing called a little regression line in. Very simple to do. And we'll take it to there, and then we'll stop, and I'll talk about the second part of it here. So yeah, you can just download that right there. I think I got my folder open up here where all this is. Yeah, I'm going to double click that. Remember, logs are full of data that you could bring into Excel. And in this case, what do we have here? We have first connection, last connection, an IP address, number of connections, and bandwidth. Who's using the bandwidth? Now, I'm sort of showing you your little scatter plot, but I've got to show you how to do that. So I'm going to just take, so I got 58 lines, and going to E. So if I just take this, we'll copy it down to 58. Copy. Come over here. Just get down to 58. E. Okay, now I've got it over here. So where did this come from? Like I said, it could be a log, all sorts of things. Again, this is for demonstration purposes for you. Number of connections and the bandwidth. Last connection, first connection. All right. So you see it. You got all this data. So what do you got here? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns and 58 rows. And then and over here you've got all these IP addresses. One of those is the outlier. Trying to tell you maybe they're uploading or downloading a bunch of files in your network, and that's like, again, I told you about the baseline thing. Well, that's sort of out of norm of the baseline. I got to check out that workstation and see what's going on. Okay, so all we're going to do here is, if you just took this right here and copied it, okay, you've highlighted that data. Okay, now what do you want to do with it? Do you want some kind of chart? That's what I'm asking for, right? The scatter plot. Well, let's look over here what we got. We got some data in here that you see. You've got, take a look at this. These are different ways if you wanted to manipulate that data, bring it or export it or import other data in for it. But you really, at this point, don't need that now. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of our charts. Let's see, make sure I got them all. Yep, everything's copied right there. Go to Insert. And here's all your, a lot of different charts in here. We're looking for the scatter plot. Hey, that might be it. And so what we'll do is we'll use this one right here. So I'm going to click it. Okay, and there's my chart. So, in other words, if I was to tell you, hey, I want you to, let's say we had a log file on our server or a firewall or whatever, and it was, excuse me, it was logging this data. Step up to the plate. There was a mouse in here. I just got it out of the room. No big deal. I could say anything. I could say anything, right? Yeah, I did. I don't have my other glasses tonight. So now you're looking at this. Okay. Now, does something look different? Does one of those look out of the ordinary up there?
Yep.
It might just do that, huh? So, and if you want to resize it, you can resize it. But yeah, you see some things going on there that's not very good. Now, on these plots, you can go here and then you put the mouse on the point. It tells you which one it is. And see the 120, 70. That corresponds with over here 120.70, wherever that is now. And I can look way up here. 100.832. Now down along the bottom, where are we here? You've got your bandwidth up here, and you got your connections here. Where's the high bandwidth of this chart?
800.
At the top, correct?
832.
Yeah.
Megabits.
I mean, look at that. This is more bandwidth. This is using more bandwidth. You go up here. You're talking about connections. But you can visually look at this and say, boy, I know which one is using the most bandwidth and connections right now compared to everybody else, right? So you would look up here and you can find that. Okay? Gives you a little series up there. So you found that. Now, the other thing that they were talking about was this regression line. Right? I'm going to just do a little, and I have this in Blackboard for you to view later. Also, if you need to refer back to it. But let me go back here. Pull this up, laptop, send audio. Let's skip that. I can sort of talk for the guy right here, but there he is with his little scattered plot, right? And so we're looking at time. The audio is not coming out too well on that right now, but again, you can play at home and see that. I can sort of talk for it right now in the classroom. So he's just basically saying there's the plots. He knows if you click it, you can go there. But if you take one of the spots and you right click, you see add the timeline, trend line. I'm sorry, add the trend line, and then there's different kind of. The one you want is the linear regression line, and that's what he's chosen there. And you see it going up. And there's a little commercial too for Excel if you want. But you want that line there. And so when you get that line, I'm just going to close it out. You'll also see in that where. Let me just close this. If we go back to ours that we have up here right now, and I just, like I said, I just picked one out here, and I right-clicked it. See, add trend line. Click that, and of course, yeah, I want a linear trend line. That's good. Okay. Linear. And that should do it. And just close that there. Now I want you to notice too. Go ahead and let's see, format trend line. Let's see, we got fill, we can do things with if we need to. I think you guys can see that pretty good. You know, I have it on auto. I can make it a little bit wider if you need to. Here. You see here, you can, there's other things you can do to it if you want to. But we chose a linear line, and coming down here towards the bottom, there's a couple of boxes, and one of them says display equation on the chart. Well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to click that. Now I'm good. So there's a little equation right there. And so y. So for y, and what's y going to be over here in the connections? For y equals 400 and on the vertical axis, 4.5689 times x. X would be your connections plus 17 point blah blah blah. That would hold true. So let's check that out. So let's say I pick this guy right here. 42. So x 42. So if you took 4.5, this is rounded off. 4.57 times 42 plus 17.179, you would get approximately 347. That's in a linear equation. Okay. But it also is a good, quick way of taking data quickly with the chart here and bringing it in Excel about seeing, where's the problem real quick. Hey, I just had 58 lines there. Now, if you're going to pull something out of a log, you're going to have a lot more than 58 lines, like different IPs and connections to look at to see, what's especially in a 24-hour day, that they can show you what's going on. So that's one way to take data quickly and solve a problem. Like, I noticed the bandwidth's up. What's going on? Which workstation real quick is doing that? So yeah, you can do something like this. Now.
That's why it's important from like the CCNA side it's so important to assign static IP addresses so you can track where the traffic is coming from.
Yeah.
And that
and there's some benefits to that if you can manage that in your network. Let's say you don't have a real big network. Let's say you had a network like 4 of these classrooms. Okay? And what do we have here? 25 in each one. Okay, there's 100 machines. Oh yeah, you throw in some printers and you throw in some other devices that take IP, stuff like that. But let's say you got 100 machines. Okay? And let's say you're all on one subnet. Okay, so it's getting a little busy. You can subnet it now if you want to and break it in half, that's good. What else? But just by static IPs, it's going to help that network traffic a lot, because why? They don't have to keep broadcasting and broadcasting for DHCP. You got that constant broadcast talk going on. Well, there's no need to broadcast out MAC addresses for DHCP and all that. From the have a DHCP server and run in closet, and all the workstations. They've got their IP. They don't need to say, hey, I'm so and so. I need an IP, whatever. Hey, I want to renew it. You know, things like that. But also to manage, in managing the network, you know, you may have IP addresses, but you may also have MAC addresses. There could be MAC addresses in those columns. That's how the network's seeing them on that layer.